Number 3, that is from guidelines answers, and it is our governance topic. So question number 3 of December 2019, that was, now a part of this question is that prepare a brief note on National Foundation for Corporate Governance. So we need to prepare a brief note for the National Foundation for Corporate Governance and Board of Trustee. Now the answer of this question is, that is with the goal of promoting better corporate governance practice in India. So basically we have a goal of promoting better corporate governance practices in India, and also the Ministry of MCA and Government of India has set up a National Foundation for Corporate Governance, means National Foundation for Corporate Governance, along with Confederation of Indian Industry, that is CII, and Institute of ICSI and Institute of ICAI in the year 2010. Means what has happened, that MCA, Government of India, has set up a NFCG, with whom all are the party of NFCG, CII, ICSI, ICAI. These three bodies are the part of NFCG, that is National Foundation of Corporate Governance. Now in year 2010, stakeholder in NFCG, that is National Foundation for Corporate Governance, have been expanded with the inclusion of Institute of Cost Accountant India. Means in year 2010, ICAI related to cost accountant has also emerged, and also the National Stock Exchange, that is NSE, has also emerged in this. Now the vision of NFCG is, that is important, the vision of NFCG be the key facilitator and reference point or highest standards of corporate governance in India. Means be the key facilitator ban raha hai, and also the reference point for higher standards for corporate governance. Now the internal governance structure of NFCG, means internal governance structure of National Foundation for Corporate Governance, consists of governing council, also the BOT, Board of Trustees, and also the Executive Directorate. Now the Board of Trustee basically deal with the implementation of policies and programs, and it lays down the procedure for smooth functioning. It is chaired by Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and also Government of India. Now the member of the Board of Trustees are basically ICSI, Secretary, Director General is from ICII, Confederation of Indian Industry, that is the Director General, Secretary from ICI, ICSI and CMA, they all are the Secretary, and also the representative है NSE से, and Director General and CEO is from the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. So this is also the part of it, and Director General and CEO is from the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. Now we have another question, that is better stakeholder engagement for good corporate governance. Means अगर stakeholder का engagement है better तरीके से, then it ensures good corporate governance and good governance. In the light of the above statement, elaborate the role of stakeholders. We need to mention the role of stakeholders in governance. It is something which is really relevant to discuss. That here stakeholders are characterized by the relationship to the company, that their needs, interests and concerns which are to be foremost in their mind and at the start of the engagement process. However, it is a process unfold, they just soon take a particular role with related to task and responsibility. Now following are some of the different roles that stakeholder can play. Okay, so what is the role? Basically that experts such as academician who have been invited to contribute knowledge and strategic advice to the company's board. Means if there is some experts like academician have been invited to contribute knowledge and strategic advice to the company's board. Okay, now technical advisors with expertise on the social and environmental risk associated with the particular technology and scientific development invited to be sit in the scientific and ethical panels in the science-based industry. Okay, now we have representatives of special interests such as employees, local communities or the environment commonly invited to participate in the stakeholder panel to review the company performance and or reporting practices. Also co-implementators like such as NGO who have partnered with a company to supplement a joint program solution or program to address a shared challenge. Also the stakeholders that can change only be well informed and knowledgeable. Also, if the companies are transparent and the report on the issues that are impact shareholders, both parties have an obligation to communicate sincerely and attempt to understand, not just to be understood. Although we could write various things in this, that stakeholder, if well informed and knowledgeable, company are transparent, and this is a really important line, that अगर informed और knowledgeable है company, if companies are transparent and reports an issue that impact share stakeholders. Also, both the parties have obligation to communicate it sincerely and attempt to understand, not just to be understood. Now, stakeholder engagement is very necessary to ensure good governance from the company. The stakeholders are basically associated with the companies in all forms. We can write various things in this question. Just give me a second. Hello? Hello? Now we have another question, that nowadays protection of investors' wealth is being challenged before the government in the insurance sector. So under IRDA regulations, various committees and mandatory requirements are to be constituted by the companies. Now we need to highlight the name of the committees and describe the role of the with profit committee. So it is related to insurance committee, and we know that insurance has to make some more little committees extra than any other company. Like we have with profit committee, we need to maintain, and also the policyholder protection committee, that is mandatory and it is related to insurance only. Now here IRDA advises all insurers that it is mandatory to establish committee for audit investments, risk management, policyholder protections, nomination and remuneration, corporate governance only for the insurance earning profit. Means CSR only for that insurance which are earning profit. Now the audit committee is mandatory in case of insurance company. Also investment committee, it is something that is related to only this insurance. Also the risk management committee is very essential. Okay, now the policyholder protection committee, it is also mandatory. And if we talk about nomination remuneration committee, CSR committee, it is mandatory. And with profit committee, this is something which is also relevant. Now the with profit committee, the authority has issued a non-linked insurance plan products regulation 2013, which lays down the framework with profit committee, with profit fund management and asset sharing. So with profit fund management and asset sharing. Now we have, among the other things, in the terms of these regulations, every insurance transacting life insurance businesses shall constitute a with profit transacting life insurance business shall constitute a with profit committee comprising of an independent director. Means independent director has to be a part of it, and also the CEO. Now the appointed actuary and independent actuary, means these are the basically part of this with profit committee. Now the committee shall meet often as it requires to transact the business and carry out the function of determining what the basically task of this committee. The task of this committee is basically the share of the assets attributable to the policyholders. Means what all are the shares that are attributable to the what are the share of the assets that are attributable to the policyholders, and also the investment attributable to the participating funds of policyholders. Also the expense is allocated to the policyholders. Now the reports of the with profit committee. So first we have given this thing that share of the assets attributable, also the investment income attributable, also the expenses allocation to the policyholders. Now the report of the with profit committee in respect of the above matter should be attached to the actuarial report and abstract furnished by the insurance to the authority. Means abstract also has to be furnished by that insurance to the IRDA, and also it has to be attached to the actuary report of such organization. Now we have another question, that is question number 3 part C, that is related to nowadays protection of investors, that has been done. Now the prepare a detailed note on ICSI recommendation to strengthen corporate governance. Okay, we know that what recommendation ICSI given independence के मामले में इंडिपेंडेंट डायरेक्टर होना चाहिए, प्रॉपर वो होना चाहिए, टॉप 10 को इतना वो हो जाना चाहिए, वेरियस अदर थिंग्स वी कैन राइट एनी डे. नाउ वी हैव अनदर क्वेश्चन दैट इज व्हाट इज द मटेरियल डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ विच इन्फॉर्मेशन शुड बी डिस्क्लोज्ड. 24 घंटे के अंदर अंदर कौन कौन सी डिस्क्लोजन करनी है बोर्ड मीटिंग का. These two questions we need to discuss. First we will check out IRDA recommendation. These all are the IRDA recommendations, ICSI recommendations to strengthen the corporate governance framework. Now, for the constitution of Corporate Compliance Committee on mandatory basis in respect of all public limited companies having paid up share capital of 5 crores or more, we don't have to write that. It is not necessary that every public limited company having paid up share capital of this and that amount, though it is mandatory for some other companies also. Now the charter of the committee may include to oversee the company compliance effort, and also with respect to relevant companies policies. Now the company's code of conduct and relevant laws and regulation and monitor the company's effort to implement legal obligations arising from the agreement, also other similar document. Now to review company's overall compliance program to ensure that it is well communicated, supported lawful and ethical business conducted by the employees, also to reduce risk of the compliance for non-compliance with the laws and regulations related to company business, to review complaint received from internal and external sources regarding matters other than the financial matters which are within the purview of the audit committee, also to periodically present to the POD board for adoption appropriate changes to the policy and oversee implementation and compliance of these policies, to review regularly the compliance risk assessment plan, also to investigate or cause to be investigate any significant instances of non-compliance or potential compliance violation that are reported to the committee. Now to coordinate with the committee regarding matters brought to the committee's attention that relate to issues of compliance and applicable laws and regulations. Also need to check regularly report to the board committee's activities and recommendations and conclusion. Also to discuss any significant compliance issues with the Chief Executive Officer, to periodically report to the board and CEO on adequacy and effectiveness of the company's compliance program. We need to also consider that to retain the company's expense independent director to assist the committee with carrying out its responsibility from time to time. Independent advisors are independent directors are also to perform such other duties and responsibility as may be assigned to the committee by the board. Now we have another question, that is 24 hours में कौन से disclosure करने हैं as per the board meeting. Now there is a regulation of 30 sub-regulation 6 of the SEBI LODR regulation 2015 that clarifies that every listed entity shall disclose to the stock exchanges of all events specified in Schedule A, Part A of Schedule 3 to of information as reasonably possible not later than 24 hours. Means 24 hours के अंदर में वो event हमें SEBI में inform कर देना है. What all are they? That is commencement of any postponement in the date of commencement of commercial production, commercial operation of any unit or division. Means अगर कोई commencement है, कोई postponement है in the date of commencement of commercial production or commercial operation में. Also if there is any change in the general character or nature of business brought about by arrangements for strategic technical manufacturing or marketing tie-up, adoption of new lines of business for closure of operations of any unit division entirely or piecemeal. Now capacity addition or product launch. Also awarding, bagging, receiving amendment or termination of awarded, bagged, orders, contract not in the normal course of business. Also need to be considered that if there is an agreement, loan agreement as a borrower or any other agreement which are being binding and not in the normal course of business, and revision or amendment or termination thereof. Now disruption of operation of any one or more unit of division of the listed entity due to natural calamity, earthquake, flood, fire, force majeure events. Okay, these all are things that which need to confirm to the SEBI. Okay, now we have effect arising out of change in the regulatory framework applicable to the listed entity. Means if there is any effect अगर रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क में चेंजेस आ गया कि लिस्टेड एंटिटी भी वो एप्लीकेबल है, then that also need to be communicated within 24 hours. And also litigation, dispute, regulatory impact actions with impact need to communicate within 24 hours. Fraud, default by directors other than KMP and employees of the listed entity. Also options to purchase securities including ESOP, ESPS scheme, stock purchase scheme. So these options need to be communicated within 24 hours. Also giving of guarantees and indemnity, or also become, if company is becoming surety of any third party, then it has to be communicated. Also granting withdrawal, surrender, cancellation or suspension of key license of regulatory approvals. So this is also need to be communicated here. So now we have another topic that is related to risk management, and I think it need to be discussed in a separate video. So bye.